Hello, everyone. We're here to talk about the new functionality that is introduced in 15.8, where the roadmaps and custom investment types are process enabled. Starting 15.8, you can now run processes on your roadmaps as well as on your custom investment types. Customers can run processes on the creation of a roadmap or custom investment types, or on updates to either one of those two. This functionality is important because several customers have asked us if there is a way that they can do their planning in Clarity roadmaps. And once they're done planning for the different roadmap items, they can essentially push that plan data to either external applications or maybe even other parts of Clarity itself. Now, with the roadmaps being process enabled, we can essentially do that. We can have your roadmap do all the planning, and then you can essentially build processes around it that when certain event happens, it could be a new checkbox. When that event happens, a process can run against that roadmap. It can then take the data and take appropriate action against it, whether it's to push it to external systems such as Rally, or be able to take some other action against that. For custom investments, customers have asked that they want to be able to run approval workflows around those so that they can make sure that the certain items that are being created in custom investment types go through proper stage gates before those items are marked as approved and something that should be worked on. Starting 15.8, you can now have processes run against custom investment types that will have that can have approvals around it. For roadmaps, essentially, when you upgrade to 15.8, your roadmap will be automatically enabled for processes. So the event enable flag will automatically be checked. You do have the option to uncheck it, but by default, we will check it for you. The roadmap after that will appear as one of the objects you can select for building your process. And you can then run the process on either create or updating of the roadmaps itself. Same applies for the custom investment types, that when you upgrade, your custom investment types will be event enabled. When you create a new investment type, we will automatically set the flag for event enable for those custom investment types. The processes can be run against those custom investment types, either on a start or an update condition. You can use the attributes from your custom investments or attributes from its sub-objects as part of your start condition. The custom investment type, of course, will appear as one of the primary objects that you can include in your process. And then you can run approval or any other automation process against your custom investment type. So with that, I'm now going to demonstrate how the processes can be created on roadmaps or custom investment types, and we will see the processes running against roadmap and custom investment types. So I'm in my Clarity system. I am first going to go into my administration side on Classic UI, where I can create new processes. So here I have started to build a new process called Demo Roadmap. And the intention is to see that when you create processes, you go into the objects, you can now select roadmap as one of your object that this process can run against. You can also select your custom investment. So I have a custom investment type created called strategy, and I can now pick that because it is event enabled. So now processes, you can have objects selected, either roadmap or custom investment type. If I go in, look at my roadmap itself, I will see that my roadmap is event enabled. And the same applies for my custom investment types. If I pick strategy, it is also event enabled. Now I'm going to run processes against it. So if I go into my Mon UX, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my roadmap, and I have built a roadmap that essentially I can do all my planning and I can publish it. Once I'm done with my planning, I now have the option. I've created a new checkbox. So this is a custom attribute that I've created, which allows me to, when I check it, kick off a process. In this demo, I'm essentially going to kick off the process. The process will do what it's need to, and when it finishes, it'll populate this field that that tells me when this roadmap was last synchronized. I'm going to check the box, and the process is kicked off at the back end. If I refresh my screen, I should see that the checkbox is unchecked, and now the date is changed to the current date. I can go look at that process in the classic UI. So I cannot look at any process that is executed in the modern UX. I have to look at it in the classic UI. So here I can see the process got invoked against my annual plan, and it completed. Next, I'm going to go look at processes running against my custom investment. So I'm going to go into my custom investment. I'm going to go into my strategy. Here I have 3 different strategies that I created, and I have a new custom attribute called submit for approval. I can check this box. A process will get invoked, which will then send action items to the different approvers. The different approvers can then take action against those action items. The action has to be taken in the classic UI. So I do not have the option right now to take action in the modern UX, but I can take action in the classic UI. So once I do that, let's go ahead and submit this. I've submitted market penetration. The action should go to me as one of the approver, which I can see in classic. I can see an action has just appeared for me, which is please approve the marketing penetration strategy. I can either approve or reject it. So I'll go ahead and reject it first. When I do that, the process will essentially uncheck the submit for approval and change the status to rejected. So this market penetration just got rejected. I can do the same. I refresh my screen. I should see a new action item. There is a new action item. In this case, I'll go ahead and approve it. And now when I look back here, I will see that my custom investment market penetration is approved. I can go into the classic, and I can again look at all the processes that have executed. So you can see the 2 times I executed the process, the dates, and I can see all the details for that specific process itself. So the path that took place. That concludes my demo for the process enablement of roadmaps and custom investment types.